Hey guys, Tace here. Today we're going to be looking at one of the four pillars of object oriented programming, a fundamental attribute to use as a developer, and that is inheritance. Okay, this is the concept that allows you to create a class that extends, reuses, or modifies another class. The inherited class can be termed as the parent or base class, and the inheriting class can be termed as the child or derived class. A class in C Sharp cannot inherit from multiple classes, so it only supports single inheritance. But we can do something like class 4 inherits stuff from class 3, which inherits stuff from class 2, which inherits stuff from class 1. So it's kind of like a chain of inheritance. You get the idea. Anyway, let's jump over to Visual Studio Code, where we want to create two types of people in a hospital setting. So we can create a doctor and a nurse, and we will basically give them some realistic functionality. So let's start off with the doctor. So public class doctor. Okay, and we're going to give this doctor a couple of properties common to someone in a hospital. So we can give them a string, and then we'll give them first name, and then we can do the same for this one. So we go string, and then we'll go last name, and then we want one for their email as well. So string, there we go, email. Okay, then we also want some sort of a function that can print their name. So public void print name. Okay, and this will just effectively print their name to the console. So let's go with some use some string interpolation there, I think, to do that. First name, and we can go with name as well, surname. Oh, of course I used last name this time, didn't I? Cool. Okay, then we have let's have a function that does something like so we can say that they attend a patient. So void attend patient. Oh, attend. Let's call it attend to patient. Okay, and basically this is just a simple function that again just says that the doctor asked patient what's wrong. Okay, very simple function there. I need to spell doctor first properly, and then finally we'll give another function here for the doctor, just to treat, that's specific to the doctor, which is to treat the patient. And again, in this scenario, they are just basically we can say the doctor prescribed some medication. So you get the picture. Cool. Okay, cool. Now let's sort out the nurse. Okay, public class nurse. Okay, and they will have all the same functionality. First name, surname. They can also attend to a patient. Okay, but obviously they're not a doctor, so they're not going to have this. Oh, spot doctor wrong. They're not going to have this same functionality, so the same action when they carry out this tend to patient. Instead, they'll say nurse asked if patient would like anything to drink. Cool. Okay, and yeah, we want them to also have the print functionality, print name functionality as well. So there we go, print name functionality as well. Cool. Okay. Cool. Now our nurse is all sorted. Right. Okay. So now if we review both of these classes, right? Okay. You can see they have a few differences. Okay. Like this attend patient is slightly different in the fact that it, the message is that's executed to the console is slightly different. Then obviously the nurse doesn't have a treat patient method. Okay, but there's a lot of duplication. So obviously you've got first name, last name, and email, duplicated in both these classes, and to a certain extent, and print name as well. So it seems there's detail. Basically, their details are exactly the same. So we have this similarity in the function as well. Okay, so the point is, let's make our lives easier, as a developer, and whoever may have to work with, our code. We want to make their life a lot easier as well. So rather than having all this duplication, which would mean that, if I wanted to change last name across my solution to be surname, because that's the way the solution wants to be handled, I'd have to go into my doctor class to change it, and then I'd have to go into my nurse class to change it as well. So which would increase the chance of error, which is what we don't want. Okay, so let's have this let's create this kind of base class or common place that we can have this common code, and we're going to call that public class person. Okay, and this person class is basically going to have the details of the person, so first name, last name, email, which makes sense of what a person type would have, and then it's also going to have the function to print the name to the console as well. Okay, now the doctor class and the nurse class can inherit from this person class, and we can do that by using the colon symbol. So if we head over to a doctor class, we can just type the colon symbol here, and then we can say person. Person, there we go. And now this doctor class is inheriting all the functionality from this person class, and we can do the same here. Okay, and now the nurse class is also inheriting from this person class as well. So let's get rid of all the common functionality. So we can do that by getting rid of this, and we can do that by getting rid of this as well in the person class. And you can see we're not getting any issues, no errors or anything like that. Cool. Okay, so we're not done yet, because there seems to still be a bit of common functionality between the two of these derived classes, the doctor class and the nurse class. Okay, so you can see they both have a common functionality of this attend to patient functionality. Okay, and this is to treat. So we kind of need another base class that we can move this common functionality into, so that we can have it in a common place as well. So let's create that. So we'll create public class, but this time we don't want it to be person. We want it to be hospital employee, because it makes sense that a hospital employee will obviously will have at some stage be able to attend to a patient. Okay, and let's move this into a hospital employee. Okay, and let's edit it a bit. So it says nurse asked if patient would like anything to drink. So let's have it as ask if. So it's a bit more generic. Okay, so it can be used by any of the classes. Ask if patient would like a drink. Yeah, so different types of hospital employees can do that. So we can use this with multiple hospital employees. So we've now got that in here, and obviously now we are getting now we can now obviously inherit. Okay, so basically, how are we going to inherit this functionality in these two classes? That's what I wanted to say. So now we can try and do this, where we say, okay, well, you can put a comma there, and then we can now type hospital employee there. So, to see if we can inherit that as well. But we're getting an error, okay? And the error says class doctor cannot have multiple base classes, person and hospital employee. And as I mentioned earlier, obviously, we could only inherit from another. One class can only inherit from another class. Okay, so let's have our employee class inherit from our person class. Okay, so this hospital employee class, let's inherit from the person class. Okay, that way we can now have all our derived classes inherit from the hospital employee class, rather than the person class and the hospital employee class, which we can't do. So obviously now it's inheriting from just one class, and as you can see, we're forming this like chain. So obviously the hospital employee class is going to have all this properties and all these members basically, and then obviously then anything that inherits from the hospital employee class will also get all these members from the person class, but as well as the attend patient from the hospital employee class as well. Cool. Okay, so one more thing. We can see that the derived class obviously has its own version of how it attends to patients. So let's remove this one for now and say that the nurse class can use this generic ask if patient would like anything to drink, because the nurse was kind of doing that anyway. Okay, but the doctor isn't going to ask the patient if they would like something to drink when they attend to the patient. Instead, they ask them. They obviously ask the patient what's wrong. So how can we implement this using our base class so that we can have like a something specific to the doctor class? Okay, so we can do this by marking the attend to patient method in the hospital employee class with a virtual keyword. So we go virtual, if I spell that correctly, virtual. There we go. Okay, which means that any derived class that want to give their own implementation of this attend to patient method, they can do so, and they can do that by using an override keyword. Because as you can see now, it's given an error. It's saying Dr. Hyde's inherited method to make current member override to make the current member override the implementation, add the override keyword. So let's use the override keyword here. Override. If I can spell that correctly. Cool. So now we're overriding this functionality. So when we use it in this if we instantiate this class and then we use this method, it's not going to obviously print this to the console. It will print this method, this message to the console. Okay, now let's see what we've achieved by creating some instances of our derived classes and see how everything fits together. So first of all, let's create this doctor class. So we say var James. Oh well, actually no. Okay, doctor. We'll call it doctor equals new doctor. Cool. Okay, and then we can assign some doctor dot first name equals, we can say it's going to be James. Okay, and doctor dot surname, last name, is it last name? Yep, equals Bond. Okay, and then we can obviously give like some sort of fake email, doctor dot email equals James at Bond. doctor.com. Okay, and then cool. So we've got our doctor class there. We want to do our var nurse equals nurse. Okay, and then again we can do the same thing. Let's copy this. I think it might be quicker. I don't know. Then type in. Let's have a go at like copying sometimes. Nurse. Oop. Nurse. Okay, and we'll have it as Becky search. Okay, and Becky at bond.com. Okay, cool. So now let's have a look. So we've been able to, access all these, properties that were in the, obviously the base class, and we were still able to, use them and set them in the derived class. Okay, so and just to prove that, let's use the print name method and see what happens. Okay, so we'll go doctor dot, and as you can see, is there a print name in here? Print name here. Okay, cool. And we can run that, and that should print the first name and surname of the doctor, and then we can do kind of the same thing for the nurse as well. So let's run that in the console and see what we get. Yeah, cool. So we've got James Bond and Becky search, so that's working nicely. Okay, and then obviously we've got this other class here, the hospital employee class, and we want to do attend to patient. So let's say the doctor wants to attend to the patient as well. Okay, doctor dot attend to patient. Okay, and the nurse wants to also attend to a patient as well. So the nurse, she goes, she attends to a patient as well. Let's see what happens there. So you can see there that we're getting two different outcomes here. Okay, so for the nurse, it's given us the virtual method, which is ask if patient would like anything to drink, because we haven't overridden it in the derived class. But obviously the doctor class, we have overridden the method, so it's given us the derived version. Okay, as you can see there, doctor ask patient what's wrong. Cool. Okay, and then finally, obviously the doctor has some additional functionality that the nurse doesn't have, which is to treat patient. So if we go over there, we can obviously say that the doctor can treat the patient as well, but I don't think that's available to the nurse class, because the nurse doesn't have the ability to treat a patient as well. So cool. So if let's just run that to make sure that worked nicely. So run that, and you can see there we got doctor prescribed some medication. Cool, great. That's the end of our video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.